Hello and welcome back to I Have No Idea What I Am Doing, a fortnightly show all about learning. If you watched the previous episodes, you will know that we are creating a Vuex app, all based on the Cards Against Humanity card game. If not, then you should probably go check out the earlier episodes. You can start at episode 1 or episode 0, it doesn't overly matter. Episode 0 we talk about the fundamentals of Vuex, and episode 1 we actually get started with creating this app. You will find both of them in the I Have No Idea What I Am Doing playlist, which should appear here. Today we'll be creating a card component. We'll keep it nice and easy since it's really close to Christmas and I haven't really got a great deal of time. And I will talk a little bit about scoped styles as well. So if you've seen styled components for React, it's very similar to that. We have a video all about that actually, which again should just be popping up right about here somewhere. As ever, this repo will be made publicly available to you. You can find that in the description. Now, you may have noticed that the video quality and the audio quality isn't great, but I have it on good authority that Santa is bringing me a new microphone for Christmas, so hopefully the next episode the audio will be much better. So, without any further ado, let's get learning. Alright, so the first thing we want to do, since we're going to start doing things a little bit more episodically now, and we are out of Devland and the project's set up and it's out in the open, we want to start working with branches. We don't want to be committing directly to master anymore. I probably shouldn't have done that in the last episode, but it's my project, so I'll do what I want. So we git checkout -b. I am just call it episode 2. Yes, episode 2, that's what we're on. So now we're on episode 2 branch, and I can push up to that, and everything is contained. Create logger, it seems, is like a DOM version of the React, the Vue DevTools that we had. So it creates a node that it plugs in. We don't need it basically. So I'm just going to go straight down to line 15 and get rid of that. I'm going to leave this as it is for now because we will want debug mode when we've got when we start looking into proper builds and getting things deployed and stuff. But what I am going to do is just change that to true since we are in dev mode, and we'll get strict mode now. If I go into card.js here and card. I didn't call it card, it's just app.vue, isn't it? Yeah. See, I don't want card 1 to be hard-coded anymore, so I'll just put cards there, see what happens. Right, okay, good, it spits that out. So, what does each card want? Well, if I get rid of that, I want each card to have a unique ID. So we've got a unique ID for each card, and then that card is going to have text assigned to it. So this is very similar to what we had before. I'll be back. I've prepared one earlier. Okay, let's just pick a random eating people. And you can see that on the tiny picture-in-picture, but there we go, eating people. So let's just, that's the text that we want, and eventually it's going to have a position, so that's going to say whether it's in a certain player's hand, whether it's in the deck, whether it's on the playing field, whatever, and display. So face. Actually, let's make that boolean. Called face up and true. We might want more data in here eventually, but that'll do for now. If we create a few more of them, then we can start pulling them in and modifying them. Yeah, I'm not going to go too heavy on getting the actual things in, so I'll magic of editing. We'll have let's go with 10 cards, let's say. Okay, so that's done. I've got to say it was pretty hard going through all the Cards Against Humanity cards and finding ones that were appropriate. But we got there. We got there. Now, I'm going to open this up at the end and say if you can submit some pull requests for good ones of these, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, so I've got 10 example cards in. They're all fairly standard. They're all set to the hand position. They're all face up, and they all have a sort of unique ID of 00, 001, 002. Yeah, so this data will change eventually, but it's certainly a lot closer to what we want to be working with later on. Now you'll see this all gets pulled in to the app. Not ideally, but it's in there. But we have inside the Vue DevTools, we can see we have each card like I saw. Okay, so the data's in there. That's easy. What we want to do now is we want to start creating some proper components rather than just this sort of dummy app component. Now the way we want to do that is we want to, I'm just going to replicate this component and call it card.view. We don't want to say all repets. Let's get rid of that. Let's keep that. Let's give it a class of card. Why not? And what data do we want to pass to the card? All the card needs to know really is the text and whether it's face up or not. So inside here we just want text. Let's call that card text. We can write some styles for it. Don't know how we want to pull in the data here. I'll look at that. And okay, so we'll delete. We will delete all that for now. And here is card.view. So we've got the card component. Where do we pull it in? It's time to go back to the Vuex, that one. What's probably best is if I go into the shopping cart example from before, and let's see app.j, no, not wrong one, components, app.view. Right, so inside this script we import the other components, and then we just use them here. So if I open up app.view and up here I'm going to import card from /card.view. Do I need the .view? Probably. Right, okay, I'm going to leave this as it is for now. So we've got computed in there, add components, card, like that. Looks about right to me. And then we should be able to just call, let's leave that. In fact, I'll leave all repets in there as well. And then inside cards, I am going to do just card like that. Can I do that? Can't do that. No matching end tag. Let's close it off. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Now, in React, where I come from, React land, I would normally see how here we're pulling in the cards from this state. I would have passed down sort of like in here, say, 4 card in cards, and then on each card I would pass card.data. But they don't seem to do that in Vuex. They seem to just literally have the components, and then the components are rendered here with no data passed to them. So maybe that component itself kind of pulls in the data from the Vuex store. Let's see. Also, one thing I've noticed, we're importing uppercase cart, but we're calling lowercase cart here. What I'm going to do inside card, I'm just going to put in this, so I can see if it is. Yeah, so it is loading in a card. Right, that's good. It's just the data we need to sort. So if I look at what shall I pick? Cart or product list? Let's go with product list. Why not? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that's interesting. So they have a product list that lists all the products, but they don't have a product component. Now that's not quite how I would have done it personally. None of these seem to accept props, which is not what I'm used to. I am used to passing props down to things. Let's doesn't really tell me in here. I've got methods, plugin developers, module use. It's not. Doesn't really say much on components and props. So let's do a quick googly for Vuex component props. Vuex. Oh, I dig up my code and currently oh, well, that's helpful. I know I can do it. I just want to know if I should do it. You know what I'm going to do? So what they've got here is they don't have a product component. They have a product list component, which loops through all the products and then displays them. So I am going to take a leaf out of their book, and I'm going to not use a card component, but have a card list component. Right, okay. And if I do v4 equals card in cards, like that. Oh, it renders multiple ones. Okay, so that's because I want to do the class of card list. Close it off, and I'm assuming I can just do card.text, eating pickle onions. Whee! Right, there we go. So we're pulling through the card text now. I can get rid of this card. Right, so what did we do there? I may have moved a little quick. What I did was, instead of having my app pull in all the cards and then loop through each card and create a card component and pass in the props, which I would normally do if this was React or something else. What instead we do is we just say, right, okay, well, the app has a card list component inside it. Let's render this card list. And then the card list component says, okay, I render a list of cards and I get my cards from the Vuex state, and they're here. So rather than passing props down to each component and then bubbling events back up, I'm assuming Vuex works by calling the getting the data and setting the data from within the component itself. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It makes me feel a little icky, but I'll power through. I may just be getting it wrong. It may just be a strange example. Okay, one thing my syntax highlighter is telling me here is that the elements in iteration expect to have a vbind key directive. Now in React, every item in a repeat, I guess you'd say, it needs to have a unique key. It seems Vue is no different, and how was it telling me to put it in? Vbind -key. I think I can just do v key like that equals, I'll just do card .it, and yeah, no, it's like that. Yeah, okay. I'm saying card.id. These cards don't have ID. They should. I should be pulling this ID into the. I'm just going to very quickly reformat this data. Right, now we have IDs in there. As I said, we're winging this kind of as we go along, so expect this data to change a little bit as we start moving things about. I've deliberately only done 10 cards here so that it's not too much of a pain to change anything if we need to. Okay, so now we are pulling in the card.id. Now what we want to do is we want to start styling these cards. So if I'm just going to tidy this up a little actually. Right. That's how I want it to look. So we've got view, and then just regular HTML. It just makes it a little bit easier to read. So I want to style these cards. Now, how do we want to style them? So .card. I just do background. Let me spell that correctly. Background red. Right, good. We are cooking on gas there. So I want to display every card as a block. Let's set the width to 100 pixels. That's 10. 100 pixels. The height to 160 pixels. It's not too important right now. Background to white. Not white space. Thank you, autocomplete. The border to 1 pixel solid. Let's give it kind of a greyish colour. Yeah, that's fine. Border radius of 10 pixels. Orphans? No. Overflow. Hidden, right, what are we working with there? They look rubbish. They need to be bigger. They are better. Let's make them a little bit wider. Yeah, okay, that's good enough for me. Now, we're trying to get them to look like this, remember? So what we are missing is a padding of 10 pixels, why not? Let's give it a font size of 2em. Eating people, okay, font family of, let's just go sans serif for now. Eating people, good, let's yeah, right, okay, so they kind of work. I am fully aware that they look ugly. Sort them in alphabetical. I'm fully aware they look ugly, but I'm going to come back to it, don't worry. I'm going to do a dot card list here too, and I am going to say display flex, not display, but display. And let's flex wrap so that they can actually wrap. Let's give these a little margin as well. Margin 10 pixels is fine. That's not too bad. It's not great. I'm going to set these to EMs instead of pixels. In fact, what I also want to do is box sizing. Come on, box sizing border box. Right, 1em is too much. 0.5 is not enough, really. 0.75 that's good enough for me. Actually, the text is maybe a bit bigger. Let's leave that 1em. Let's call that 1.5em, 1.75em. That looks good for me. I'm going to keep that 0.75. I am just messing about here. Sans serif is fine. Font size, let's go bold. And let's set the colour to that. That's good enough for me. I'm going to set that to 0.5 though, just so we can get 3 on one line. Okay, so there we go. It's not the greatest looking of things, but we have cards now, and they're all coming from our cards data. Pew, pew, pew. Right. So well, there we go. We've generated a list of cards. What I will show you, because we now have time, is a thing called scoped styles. So in order to show you scoped styles, I'm going to have to show you not scoped styles first. So inside our cards list component, oh, that's gone cold. Blah. Inside our cards list component, we have this style block, where we style the card list and the card. Now this is fine, really, for what we've got now, but eventually we're going to have black cards, and we're going to have white cards, and we're going to have face up and face down cards. In fact, that might be a good thing to do next, face up and face down. So dot card isn't the best selector, really. Now we can obfuscate it with BEM, and we can have like card and card black and card face down or whatever, but they can get a little bit unwieldy, and some weird things still kind of happen that you don't want to happen. So to sort of illustrate this, I'm just going to style inside here every div and say I want an outline of red. So you will see oh, outline of 1 pixel solid red. It's my CSS skills just flying straight out the window there. Yeah. every div in the entire app now has a 1 pixel red outline. So we have one round this div, one round this div, one round the whole containing div, one round the all read pets div. There's lots of them. But what we can do is we can set here style scoped, and then what Vue does is it encapsulates all them styles to only affect the this particular component that we're rendering. All of the styles. I'm going to refresh that. Yeah, okay. It looks like the hot reloading doesn't play too nice with that. But what we can see now is that the all read pets div no longer has the outline. The only divs that do have the outline are the ones that are inside this component. So we've got the title div, we've got the card div, we've got the card list div, which is this one, and this one. So the styles are scoped to within that component. Now this may sound a little bit mad, as it kind of goes against what CSS does, and the whole point of CSS is that it cascades. It's literally the C in CSS. But when you start thinking about things in terms of components, scoped styles really starts to make sense, as you can style your component without fear of the styles leaking out into things that you don't really want to be affecting. Okay, so we still have a little bit of time, so I am going to touch on the face down idea. So what we want to do is face up true, face up true, face up true. Let's select the first 3 cards and just set it to false. False. Yes, false. God. Skip 1 and let's make that false as well. So yeah, that doesn't change anything. But what we want to do inside card list is we want a way of saying basically div class is card back, and let's close the div. So if it is face up, then we want to show the card back. If it's face down, we want to if it's face up, we want to show the card text. If it's face down, we want to show the card back. And the back of the Cards Against Humanity card looks like this. Okay, so I am just going to write in here Cards Against Humanity. And let's get rid of that extra letter I. So I'm just going to in here dot card back font size 2em, maybe too big, 1.4 em. That's better. No, this legal line height. I'm not fussed about that. No, actually. Yikes. 1 em. Right, much better. Right. So you can see we're kind of seeing the front and the back all at the same time. Now, one thing we can do is we can add in a v. Actually, I'll put it on this side. V if, and what did we call it? Card.face up. Okay. And not face up. So we can have, if the card is face up, we show the card text. If the card is not face up, then it's face down, and we show the back of the card. And we can see that works here. Now I want to pull that size down a little more. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to rearrange the styles a little. what have we done? We have created a card list component. Now our card list component is a list of cards. We loop through every card in them cards. We assign it the card ID as a key and give it a class of card. If it's not face up, so it's face down, we just show the card back, which is Cards Against Humanity. If it is face up, then we show the text on the card. The way we do that is we import the map state from Vuex. We say, okay Vuex, give me the cards from the Vuex store. And then, yeah, it loops through all them cards and renders them as we said earlier. We've learned a little bit about scoped styles. So these styles are completely scoped, so I could create another card list class on the page and it won't be affected by any of these styles. Same with the card or the card text or the card back. This really helps us stop things bleeding out and affecting things we don't want them to affect. And you can see all that here. So we've got some face down cards, we've got some face up cards, and they're all styled lovely. In order to do this, we have had to change the app.view to, it no longer cares about the store or the modules. All it cares about is that we are importing the card list component, and then we just export that card list component, but not before rendering it here on the page. Now, I am actually going to get rid of already pets and that div because we don't need them anymore, and I'm going to clear out this style tag thing because it's not needed. Now this seems like a lot simpler than I was expecting. I was expecting this to be quite a long episode. It's not really, but yeah. So there's some weirdness for me. The differences between Vuex and something like Redux, where as I've said, normally I would pull in the cards data inside the app component and then pass them as props. So I would have like cards list, cards equals cards or whatever. But we don't seem to do that here. We literally inside the component tell it what data we need it to get from Vuex. This seems weird to me, but I'm kind of going with it for now. I have a feeling that there'll be a point in a future episode where I go, that's why they do it this way, this makes perfect sense now. Probably something a little bit more when we look at getters and mutations and all that sort of stuff, because they will be inside here as well, rather than having to bubble them down and back up. Bubble down? You know, bubble down. Well, I don't know what the phrase is. Sink down and bubble up, whatever. You know what I mean. We inside the sphere. No, inside the cards module, we created some dummy data for the cards that's a little bit more better. A little bit more better than what we had before. So now cards have IDs that are unique to that card, they have their own text, it says where it is. We're not using that just yet, but that will come into play later. It says whether it's face up or not, and we are directly using this data to render the app. Okay, so today we looked a little bit into creating a component in Vue, and it was a lot easier than we were expecting. Now, I've dealt with Vue components before, but the idea of pulling in the data directly inside the component without passing it down through scopes, as I've probably mentioned, is a little bit weird to me. But I'm sure it'll become apparent in later episodes as we get a little bit further into the bowels of Vuex. As ever, if you have any questions, comments, or just want to tell me I've done something horrifically wrong, just get in touch on Twitter @FrontendNE. You can also create issues in the repo And if you have any ideas for cards, then just jump into the store, add some ideas in there, and create a merge request. And I'd love to get them merged in so that we can have some proper cards in there. Like as I said, the data is likely to change, but I'll pull them across as and when things change. Thank you for watching. I have no idea what I am doing. We release these episodes on the 2nd and 4th Thursday of every single month, which means the next one will be in the new year on the 11th of January. To be sure you don't miss it, you know what to do. Click subscribe. It's here, just click it. It's time for me to head off and go do some Christmas things. So, as always, remember, I have no idea what I am